Very wonderful, very wonderful. How are you on this lovely, lovely autumn Monday?
Autumn Monday, yeah, it's dropped a little bit in temperature today, but yes, doing not too bad at all. How about yourself?
Very good. Very, very tired. Obviously, we had a weekend away down with the Plymouth guys, which is great. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then straight back to reality of how, after having a nice weekend with a nice wet track to clear up that same old boring chestnut that we've heard a few times before. Obviously, it's pretty important that we get it right this weekend with our national coming up, which again we'll speak about a bit later. So yeah, tired. Been doing that most of today, but happy to be here. Glad to see you, and yeah, I think we've got quite a bit to talk about with this show. So yeah, all good, all good. What were you doing? You were playing with Johnny Five. I saw that, or a new version of Johnny Five.
Johnny Five, yeah, that was on Saturday. Yeah, new version of Johnny Five on Saturday. Yeah, I had a rare Sunday off. You know, we haven't had many of them, so yeah, a rare Sunday off to spend with the fam before getting back into it this weekend. I'm very much looking forward to it. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm pumped for this weekend, and we're meant to have a mini heatwave as well, right?
Well, that would be very, very nice. I would welcome that with open arms. As long as we don't have rain, that would be my preference.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, let's pray for no more rain.
It almost feels surreal when I was clearing it off with Rumble earlier on today. It's like this is the final national of the year, and it's been so relentless, like a train, hasn't it? To suddenly think, wow, we're at the end of the year after this weekend. It's kind of done. We can hopefully get back to doing a bit more club racing, which I definitely missed. I didn't realise how much I'd missed doing a bit of club racing until the weekend. It's only when you go and do something a bit smaller that you realise how much fun can be had when there's not the pressures of the big races on. So I'm looking forward to doing a bit of that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, I go straight into Robin Hood, the temp scale 2-dayer after our weekend.
I'm sorry for your luck. I shall be definitely not going into a 2-dayer after our Nemo one.
No, yeah. I mean, you should have a weekend off and not even look at anything toy car related and get ready for club racing.
Yes, exactly. So, have you got a beer to review, or a wine, or what have you got?
I do have one to review. I've not had it before. Paul kindly gave me some beers at our GP, but they're still in my caravan. So I'm not reviewing one of them, Paul. So I know you'll be watching with bated breath, but tonight is not the night. Tonight I have
Hobgoblin Gold, no less.
Hobgoblin Gold. So wow. I thought I'd give it a try. Let's have a... Smells like beer. So on that one.
Yeah, it's never going to be good. It'll be okay once you've had it had a minute or three of it. But it did lead completely unprompted onto a gold theme because we've just had some very, very nice, very shiny gold stickers.
And that was completely unintentional gold.
It was.
Yeah.
And they were just lying here, just waiting for me to go and sticker everything I own with gold stickers. But it also features our new Gamma logo, which is our refresh logo, which people are going to be seeing a bit more of, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, looks nice. That looks good. Means I'm going to need some new stickers.
Yes, they look good. They'll be coming soon. They'll definitely be going on my car because I like a bit of gold.
I know you do. Well, you've got my stickers on it at the moment.
It must be, yeah, and that was cool. I mean, that's the best stickered body shell I've had. So I was planning to copy your positioning and just make it gold.
Choose gold.
Exactly that. Shall we do some shout-outs on the side? Who have we got watching today?
I mean, it'd be a shame not to. Let's see. Who do you think could be TQ today?
Davy Rolls.
Davy Rolls, got to be Davy Rolls. Davy Rolls sat up there in the TQ spot. He says, "Evening, guys. How are you all doing?"
Evening. Very good. Thank you.
And then Pixel Forge, our man Paul, was second in line. Evening all. Hope you're all well. Look forward to helping out the National at the weekend. I hope to be at the track this week to support preparations.
That is very kind of you. Thank you, mate. We're looking forward to seeing you down there. I am out officially on a diet, so don't bring any donuts to me. Bring them from the others. But I'm gonna have a non-donut week. We'll try to.
So when did this officially start?
2 minutes ago.
Okay. And are you drinking a beer?
Yeah, well, actually, I have a red wine and a beer lined up, so it's probably going to start in about 45 minutes' time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always say that. It happens every day. I'm like, diet tomorrow, or the next day will do.
Thought was there.
David Bonham. Bonham? Looks like Bonham. Evening. Yep. Not bad. Cheers. Just getting ready for the weekend at Nemo. Awesome. Elise is online.
Fantastic. And I think hello, Elise.
I think we have a slight delay tonight, so I'll just have to give it a second before I talk again. She says, evening, lads, from Elise, Kevin, and Claire. So Claire's not working tonight, so all three of them are together.
Good evening, good evening. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at the weekend.
GW Racing is online. Says, evening, guys. Congratulations on the win at the weekend.
Thank you very much, GW. Good to see you online. And again, another person I think is probably going to pop up this week and give us some help. We've still got lots of little bits and pieces at the track that's going on. So all gratefully received. And thank you very much for the congratulations.
Awesome. Lyndon's online. Says, hi, hope all is well with yourselves. And it is well with me. And you, John?
Very good. Legend. Don, thank you very much for a great weekend and all the hospitality. And it was great to get out and have a 38th anniversary meal with you, lunch with you. So yeah, really appreciate you taking the time to show us Plymouth and the seaside and all those other good things. So it was a great weekend. Thank you.
I saw that, and happy anniversary to yourself and Jane. Martin Hart is online. He says, evening, chaps. Homeboy RC is online. Evening, gents. Neil Kapoor is online. He says, hello, chaps. John, idea.
Yes.
Time to get a roof for the track? Question mark.
Very, very, very good question, Neil. Very good question. And yeah, definitely been dragging my feet on that one. I thought by this time we'd have had it up already. When we first opened it up, we had some pretty big plans that got scuppered relatively quickly by councils and other bits and pieces. But I think we're making some good headway in recent weeks. So yes, it's a good topic to bring back up again as we head into the winter. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. Deep Sets Designs says, evening all from Craig. So hey, Craig boy. Martin Waters says, evening all. Matthew Stenhouse online says, evening guys. Looking forward to the weekend.
Yes, looking forward to seeing you all as ever. And I was reading the plethora of reports that come in these days on a Sunday evening and a Monday morning. It sounds like you guys had a good time at Hearts, so that was very good to see.
All good stuff. And then hero of the last 2 weeks, Michael Shorey says, evening all.
Good evening, Mr. Shorey. Missed you for the last few days as I was down in Plymouth, but another big thank you. Lots more bits and pieces had been done in my absence. So yeah, we owe you a big debt of gratitude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of our superstars from the weekend, Yaz Mughal, is online.
Yaz, the only way is up. Congratulations on your win, buddy. That's pretty epic to turn up somewhere. I don't think you'd been to South Coast before, so I think that's even more impressive. And yeah, I was really excited to see you TQ and take the win. So well done, mate. And looking forward to seeing you Nemo time over the Christmas, blimey, over the winter time, hopefully.
Yeah, I was happy to see you win one as well. Yaz, awesome. And I wish I could have been at South Coast. Just took a chance to have a family day. Otherwise, I would have been there because it is awesome down there. And I was really keen to have a go on this special Astro tire that we seem to have stumbled upon.
We have. We'll talk about that in a moment. That was definitely the highlight of the weekend for me. But yeah, you carry on. I'll leave away for a minute.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yayan's online. He says, yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
Ben Kennett is online. Boys, evening, Benji. Ben just got an entry to this weekend's National.
That is mega. And I also know Mr. Talbertini, another man that we owe a huge thank you to for the help that he gives us at the Nemo Raceway, has also got an entry. So we have got some late horses in the race, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to this weekend already. Just seeing all the guys together again is awesome. Speaking of Talbertini, he says hey and gives us a big high five.
High five.
Paul Williams online says, evening guys, looking forward to the weekend. David Bonham says, will we have fuel for sale at the track this weekend? Yes, of course we will, sir.
We will. And good evening to Williams. Looking forward to seeing him too. And I think, as I can see it on the side today, I think that's rounded up the Leroy shout-outs for the moment.
That has rounded up our shout-outs. So quite a short one tonight, but you know, sometimes that's the best way. There is a slightly strange lad who's just put a comment on. His name's Ben Johnson. He says, hi all, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Ben, I think you've got that on a copy and paste somewhere, because it would have taken
definitely. It was definitely trying to catch me out there.
Too long. Definitely, and you did it perfectly. To be fair, and Ben, thank you as well for all of the fun and entertainment, and also the awesome pit stops in the final at Plymouth yesterday. So yeah, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much, and to Jane as well. Jane was a superstar for me, doing my my pitting in the heats.
Nice,
popping
nice.
It up.
What? Wicked. And Ben wasn't in the final with you?
No, something happened. Something happened. What happened to Ben? He was looking good for the bump, and I think his steering rod pulled out. I think, from memory. Unfortunately,
something random.
Yes, random. Unfortunately, in Ben's good prepping, noticing that he'd got a bit of a tweak on his 3191, he'd popped another one on, but unfortunately, it was from a 215 SV, so the rod was shorter. And so by the time he'd done the turnbuckle, there was only a little bit of engagement of the turnbuckle in the end, so it pulled out. It lasted well; it did about 18 minutes, but not quite to the end. Nearly.
What a pain! What a pain! And Norman D. Matthew says bonsoir. He just popped in there, so bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Always good to see some of our colleagues from overseas online. I want to try and get hold of Billy as well, potentially, and get. He's about to do a big track build stateside. We've got a RC Pro Series, I think, that's rolling through the track and stuff that Billy looks after over there. So that's going to be quite cool. So I'm going to see if we can get him online a bit later on. Just say howdy, make sure he's still all right after being with us for a couple of weeks. It seems already like a distant memory, sadly. These things, they just come and go so quickly, filled with races straight away afterwards. So yeah, but we'll try and get him on the show. So shall we move into race reviews, Leroy?
Yeah, let's do it. So straight in. Let's talk about the Plymouth GP.
Okay, so yep, 2 races on this weekend. The first one for us was the Plymouth GP, and it was my turn to go down and show the guys a bit of support down there. Always up with us at our races and helping out and stuff. So it was a pleasure to be able to get back down to their track. They have a fantastic Astro track, nice club, very, very friendly. Very interesting layout. Leroy, you know the layout because I think you designed it. It was the old dirt. Was it FX or FX? Layout?
One of those. FX, yeah, dirt, FX. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Dan Clark, who used to run Dirt FX, was down there as well. So we had a nice shandy one of the evenings, or all of the evenings. We had a shandy, to be fair, as you can imagine. But yeah, Dan was down there, and he was dominating the truck class as well, actually. So anyway, 3 classes for us that were relevant. There was also a 10th scale class as well, which was good to see. Little 10th scale cars look really good going around the track as well. So I think the club are going to try and push to do a little bit more of that as well, which would be good to see. I was really surprised how well they coped with the big jumps and stuff. Actually, they look completely like they should have been there, which was cool. So yeah, I was lucky enough to take the win in the final. It was a little bit sketchy for a moment. It rained or drizzled, just before the start, and I'd been on my trusty one set of Barracuda in silver, which is the tyre that Leroy mentioned earlier on. We seem to have stumbled across an absolutely superb Astro tyre from Six Mix in the Barracuda, particularly in the silver compound, which is their hardest, which is what they would recommend for an Astro track, and just giving up fantastic traction. Feels very similar in forward bite and stuff like that to a mini pin, but without that bitiness. And equally, you can just take them out of the packet, throw them on the car, and go racing. You don't have to do any cutting of the spikes or anything else like that. So was absolutely blown away with how good that tyre was. Yes, exactly. I know it was the control tyre for South Coast. Wasn't a guess that. We obviously had some earlier tests earlier in the year with yourself, Leroy, and also with Ben Simpson as well up at Deerdale, giving us good feedback that it really seemed to be something that was good. And yeah, now I've had the chance to use it myself. That will absolutely be my go-to tyre. It makes AstroTurf racing fun. And I think if you've got anyone watching this, if you've got a club that races on AstroTurf, definitely get a set and give them a try, and see how you go. I think you're going to be super impressed. I use one set for 2 days and practice and of qualifying, all that sort of stuff, and they're still good to go now. So I think we've lucked into a really good Six Mix tyre for that, mate. So yeah, that was the biggest winner from the weekend. Really, was just seeing how good that tyre was. So anyway, managed to take the win. It rained, so it was a little bit of a drift show with that. Some of the locals had made a better choice and put an angle spike on, seeing the rain come in. But luckily for me, it stopped drizzling and I could get my head down and have a fairly easy win in the end. So that was cool. In the truck class, Dan Clark, like we mentioned, he took the win with a 215T, and Don was second. So that was great to see. If anyone that follows Nemo, you'd have seen in our little report, our evergreen truck just keeps on rocking out the great results. Obviously, a national win for you this year as well, Leroy, with that platform. Just been a brilliant product for us. So yeah, very good with that. And then an absolute surprise in the e-buggy class, we had a privateer who was running a 215E, so the last generation e-buggy. He won that class, so it was a bit of a treat for us down there, which is great to see. Obviously, we've had a good holding down in Plymouth for a few years. Dave Stanley in the beginning time was showing everybody how good our stuff could be down there, and in recent years it's changed over to Don and Jane and Ben and many of the guys down there. So it was great to go back down and show the stuff as good as it is.
Yeah, awesome results all round. Domination, as they say. Who else was joining you in the A main? Was any other guys?
We had, who else was with me in the A main? We had Don. He was in there, living the dream, looking very good at his local track. Really, pleasure to watch him go around. Really, actually, to be fair, it was impressive. Also with the truck as well, it's definitely getting the hang of his steering wheel radio. His progression changed from sticks to steering wheel is marked, and probably the biggest I've seen actually from a person, changing between what are two fundamentally completely different ways of controlling the car. He just picked up a steering wheel and instantly looked way more at home with it. So I think we had Don in there. Who else? That might have been it. Our local hot shoe, Alicia. I don't know whether you remember. She was a competition.
Yeah.
Winner year behind Josh. She pushed along a bit as well. So really coming on super strong. Unfortunately, she couldn't do this race, although she popped down to come and say hello. So that was a shame because I'm sure she would have chased me around the track pretty hard. From what I hear, she's becoming very, very fast. So I'm going to try and see if we can help her get up to another track at some time. I think that'd be quite cool. But yeah, I think apart from that, I think there was just the two of us in there. I might be wrong, but I think there was just the two of us in there. But yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, good to see the Don representing.
He was.
Awesome.
He was representing. He was dominating. And then obviously with South Coast had their Astro Blast. You probably know the results as well as me. So why don't you have a chat through what happened at the Astro Blast?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rumble's probably our man who will tell us more about this, as he was there. But Ben Kennett was in the main, Yaz was in the main, and obviously taking a TQ win, which is awesome for him. I think his first 1/8 bogey win, at least anything of good notoriety. That word, notability. That'll do.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job. I guess Rob Woodrow would have been running an e-buggy. I'm not sure on the result though. I saw some pictures, but let's see if I can find it.
You do that. Throwing up. I've just got a picture of Yaz looking fly, so I've just thrown that up. That will come up on your screen in a few moments, hopefully.
I don't think there's ever been a picture of Yaz with his eyes open. So did you manage to get one?
No, I think they're shut.
No. Yeah. I love it. All of his pictures are with his eyes closed. Brilliant.
But he's smiling. So
yeah. It was good. Obviously, running the 6MIC as a controlled tire. All the reports that I read today, not just from our team but from other teams, were glowing reviews of the tire, and many people saying they were going to switch to it for their go-to Astro tire. So
yeah,
can't complain at that.
No, definitely not. No, we actually had some phone calls as well today from people that had heard that it had been good and wanting to try it at their local clubs as well. So I think that's really interesting. It definitely makes Astro racing for me much more fun if you can just take a product and run it and not feel like you're going to trip up in 5 seconds. We all know the mini pins are very, very fast, but you have to do such an amount of work with them to make them work on the car that I think it takes away, for me, it takes away a big element of fun from it. So yeah, super excited that we've got something that's working so well.
Yeah, definitely. I was just looking through the list of what guys we had here, but
I've got a sneaky personal pick I'm going to throw up. It's nothing bad, don't worry. But this was the first race really where my little one took much more of an interest in what was going on, and he was super happy just outside was happening with the cars and watching what everybody was doing and providing us all with quite a lot of entertainment. So he had his race suit on as well. So I've just thrown that picture up because I think it's cool and I love him to pieces. So he's up there for a moment or 3. Yeah, great stuff. It's first of many, no doubt. Between you and I, Leroy, we've got a few juniors that we'll be bringing along in the coming year.
Yeah, 100%. We've got the years covered from about 5 years time to about 20 years time. I think we're covered.
Exactly. God knows what we'll look like in 20 years time with another 20 years of model car racing.
That's it. And if Rumble ever wants to make a Wix and not a screw fix, he'll be in there too.
Yeah, and I'm sure that will happen in quick succession. Rumble likes to do things by no half measures, so we will look.
At least leave it a few years so we can have that age gap.
Yeah, exactly. And about 5 would do, wouldn't it? If we can go in blocks of 5, because I think that's feels about right. You have a block of 5 years of good domination, and then invariably somebody younger, faster, and all the rest comes along. There's a few of you that have managed to be evergreen, but in general, I think you get like a 5-6 year stint at being somewhere near the top, and then you
do indeed.
So yeah, they were our 2 races, 2 wins for us. That's pretty good. We'll take that. Astro's not our chosen surface of normal races. Normally we're on dirt, so really good to see the cars going so well on Astro. And incidentally for me, I didn't change a single thing. Literally did not spanner the car even. It did our last race and completed 2 more days of racing with absolutely no love whatsoever. So that's
didn't
good.
even have any clutch bearing.
No clutch bearing, no nothing. And
did you charge the battery?
I personally didn't, but Ben Johnson had a spare charged one, so that went in, and then Don charged my one that I took out. So I definitely had a hands-free racing experience this weekend, which has led me on. I need to get a tender out for a mechanic for next year, although I have a very, very good one lined up for this weekend coming from National. Definitely need to get a tender out to get a dedicated mechanic for 2022. And we're going to be doing lots of races, Leroy, in 2022, including trying to defend this over 40 euros thing. And I'm still going to hold you to your promise that you come into pit for me for that one.
Wow, I'll come and pit for that. So you got a mechanic for that one for sure.
Dialed. I like it. Sounds good.
Who's your mechanic this weekend, though? That's what I want to know.
I've got Mr. Jones Senior.
Oh, Mr. Jones Senior. So who's pitting for Mr. Jones Junior?
Mr. Talbot.
Oh, okay. So the original partnership that never materialised.
We're coming, yeah, exactly. The one that was penned out at the beginning of the year. We're coming for the final race. We're coming for the final race. That's going to go.
Also, best wishes to Mr. Lewis. He wasn't feeling very well over the weekend. Again, kind of carrying on stuff that was still on from Hearts, really. So, yeah, all the best to him. Get well very soon.
Yeah, 100%, buddy. Love you loads, and we're going to have a fun weekend this weekend. So get yourself right. You've got all week to get yourself sorted. Coming in, some fun at the track. I think people are going to have a great time. We've worked hard, Leroy. As you know, you've been there doing it as well. Track's in really good shape as long as we don't get the weather gods come and keep raining on our parade. I'll throw a couple of some lakes that we were pumping out earlier on, but. Apart from that, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. All the jumps have been reprofiled. Well, everything's been done. Actually, to be fair, it ended up being a full renovation with Mikey Boy, like we said about last week. And yeah, I think it's looking going to run very well once we've got the water off it. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome.
So, shall we talk about? Well, it probably is national time. What have we got to talk about for our national? I think we're gonna. What we're gonna do? Probably, I'm gonna do a video. I think on the run up to it, just to explain what's where and why, because we've got to be fairly regimented with where everything goes. We've got a dedicated field for the camp, so everything's going to be, anyone that's camping is going to be in there. We've got a dedicated area for pitting, so we need to have everybody pitting in that area, and then we've got a dedicated car park as well. So I think it's probably going to be worth us doing a video to explain all of that before the event. We're there obviously pretty much all this week tinkering around, and we've got some some new bits and pieces that we're doing with public address and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I can't believe we're here. I can't believe the run up to our first Nitro National. Obviously, we did a nicely successful e-buggy and truck recently, but this is our first go, which is an honour. I didn't think we'd be here 1 year in with a track doing a national, but we are, and yeah, looking forward to put on the best show we can for everybody. We've got Mr. Truman doing the catering over the weekend, so it'll be good food for everybody. What else can we talk about with it, Leroy? Redone the track.
Track's redone. Toilets are ready. Parking is ready. Everything's nice and new. Yeah. There'll be things that people haven't seen before, and there'll be a lot of familiar things that people have seen every time. So yeah, for people that haven't come before, I mean, watch videos of the track and try and get used to the layout in your head. Look for the setups and stuff online. Obviously, I just put a setup up today. If you're running the Gamma car, then please just go and have a look, because it will massively help you out. And of course, if you're running our product, always come over and say hi and come and get the help and advice you need to make your day as good as it can be.
Yeah, absolutely. That we will have, from the support point of view, at the back. If you come to the back of the rostrum, you'll now find that there's a lovely new hatch that's been installed by Mr. Talbot, and we'll be able to help you out. A bit like a screw fix counter. You'll be able to come and select what parts you'd like, and we'll rush off and get them for you. We won't be working out of the van this weekend. The van will be locked up and away somewhere else. All support will come out of the back of there, and we'll have a little tuck shop and stuff in there as well, and another place to get teas and coffees too, as well as what Mr. Trimmer's got going on down the other end. So yeah, we're trying to make sure we're as organised as we possibly can be, make it as fun as it can be. People are welcome to arrive on the Friday. We'll be there on site we'll be a little bit earlier than this, but 10 o'clock. So yeah, the more the merrier that can come on the Friday. I think that's a good thing. It can get you all settled in and all those other good things. So yeah. National is coming, and we're ready for it. It'll be live streamed, no doubt. Mr. Rumble will have we'll be working his magic. We're going to live stream our national, obviously separate from what's going on from the RCA, because they don't use live timing, so we won't be able to have the timing as such on the video. But we'll be throwing up the broadcast that we normally do for all of our races. So even if you're not there, you'll be able to tune in and see what's going on. I don't think I can talk about some other stuff that's happening as well for the National, because I haven't actually asked if that's okay, but there's some other cool stuff going on around the National as well. So there'll be, suffice to say, lots of cameras working away over the weekend, which is also cool. So yeah, we're going to be trying our absolute best to make it feel like the event that it is. It's the season ender for the 2021 series.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm massively looking forward to it. It's going to be wicked.
Me too. I'm going to be running around like a headless chicken doing all of that, and then also trying to race it as well. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah. Also, we forgot to mention the Hearts GP race.
Blimey, I think I need to go and get myself checked out for early onset dementia. Yes, so obviously the other race that was on at the weekend was the Hearts GP, which is a great event. I've been lucky enough to go and do some of them in the past. And yeah, free event for the guys. I think they had 80 odd people there, which is a good number. And I think Mr. Clancy won it. Hopefully he was rocking a Piranha Fuel, so another good win for Jamie. Well done with that. I think we had Dylan in second, who's also on Piranha Fuel as well. So another big congratulations to Dylan, who's just getting faster and faster every week. And I was looking actually at the lap times. I don't know how I forgot about the race, but anyway, I was looking at the lap times and I could see that he was fast. He's
I did the same.
Yeah, stake his claim. And then obviously for us, we had Eric and Holger, doing their bit. I think Eric was very, very quick on lap times. He was just a few tenths away from Jamie's best when I looked, I think. And I think he finished 6th or 7th.
I think 7th.
Yeah. So yeah, really good effort. Just had a quick chat with his dad earlier on, and they were happy with the car and the speed that they got. He felt the fastest that they had been around that track. So all good. I know quite a few people were on the now infamous Blue Magma around there, which was interesting to see again. Which probably we need to cover this off at some point for our national. We're struggling with supply a little bit at the moment, fortunately, on tyres. Well, specifically the Blue Magma. We've got every other base covered that you could probably ever imagine. But yeah, Blue Magma is a bit of a hard to come by commodity right now. We're doing our best to come up with some solutions to that for our national, but we're definitely not in the shape that we were hoping we were going to be in. Yeah, for us. I know I've changed the subject, buddy, but it just came into my head as I was gabbling away.
No. It's good. It's a seamless link. So we're pushing to get what we can, but it's proving difficult with the popularity, we could say, worldwide of this current tyre.
Yeah. I mean, it's always frustrating when you're on the wrong end of it. I personally try to have as much empathy as possible because I've been, with Nemo in earlier years when I was on my own with it, had exactly the same things. You certainly, come up with something that's working really well, which is awesome, and then you need to try and pedal like a mofo to keep up with what's going on. And Six Mix, to be fair, they're in that situation right now. It's absolutely not easy for them. I was speaking extensively with Seb earlier on today to see what we could try and get lined up for this weekend. They're doing all the right things. More machines coming in. They've paid and had another Magma mold as well, so they should be able to double their capacity, what they can make of Magma. But just like we've seen and everybody else has seen all around now, that tyre compound and pattern is quite something. I was talking to someone very well known from another team just earlier on today from Westmorland. They tried it for the first time and found themselves going a second lap quicker than what they were used to using. So, it's great, but it then brings another whole set of issues that we're doing our absolute best to try and fix. Because there's one thing with Nemo, whether you love us or hate us, we always try and help anybody out, and we always try to have really good supply of the products that we use. And close to my heart was always making sure people could buy what you're running, unless it's some sort of concept thing. But yeah, we're going to have very restricted supply of Magma for the national. Unfortunately, we do have some good options that are going to be very good as well. Barracuda in the blue compound, so the same, shiny, lovely compound that gives us this little advantage we're going to have in the Barracuda tread pattern. We've just organised to get of those in. We know that they work very well. So I think people may even find, because I think the traction is going to be quite high with the amount of oil we've put on. We've really gone to town on the amount of oil that's gone onto the track. And then it did, before the rain, it had a good chance to get baked in as well. So I think it's going to be a pretty high bite. So I think the Barracuda may be a really good shout in its own. So we're covering that base off some of those in as well. We'll have Mystics, Leroy, which again is a very good tyre to use if that traction level is a little bit higher. So yeah, I'm optimistic we're going to have some good bases for it. It's a challenge. No hiding.
Yeah, definitely. If we do have high traction like we have seen before, then Weapon was always a great choice for 90% of the drivers because it was just a little bit more chilled out than the Magna is. Yeah,
and free ride, and all those other good things that we've got as well. So
yep.
Plenty there. Just maybe not quite so much of the current blue-eyed boy, but we're doing our best.
Yep, definitely.
What's any new products?
Any new products? Nothing much I can think of at the moment, is there? No. We got plugs coming in. Are they coming in?
Yeah, plugs back into stock. They'll be coming in hopefully for the weekend. Obviously, fuel and stuff. We've got another big batch of that arriving as well. So yeah, we're looking pretty good with everything. A Gamma order as well coming in. Beta order coming in this week. So yeah, on in terms of all of the current stuff. Excuse me. We're looking good. We're looking good. Hopefully, it's going to be an interesting national, this one.
Yeah. So we got a few people commenting on the side. Andy B came online. He had a little power nap. It went on longer than he thought, so he missed the start of the show. But he did come in with a joke.
Nice. What was the joke?
He said, "I had a happy childhood. My dad used to put me inside a car tire and roll me down the steepest hill. They were the good years."
Oh, Jesus. Fantastic. I actually think that you compliment his joke perfectly. He should employ you to read his jokes out.
Yeah, probably. No one would understand him though, would they? He got that northern tone going on.
Exactly. He needs some help.
Pixel Forge, our man Paul is online. He says, "Good to see John. Starlink is going well."
It's going really well. I'm seeing weird speeds like 200 meg and stuff like that, which anyone that lives out in the countryside knows that that's not something
happen. Yeah. Chris Willits online says, "Evening lads, congratulations John on the win." Home by RC says, "Even I made an A final this weekend."
Were you rocking your e-buggy, homeboy? Tell us how did it go?
Yes, and Mr. Shuri says that's a lot less water than Friday after the monsoon.
Yes, that was pretty horrific, wasn't it? What fell on Friday afternoon was almost not.
That was Thursday, wasn't it? Thursday
afternoon, yes.
Thursday. Yeah. Me and Shuri were taking shelter in the van, and it was absolutely hammering down.
Unbelievable.
We the poor UK mail guy turned up, and like 4 of the parcels that were packaged got that wet. We had to repackage half of them because it was just like within 2 minutes, it was just absolutely ruining the boxes.
Wow.
Davey Rolls says he saw a Yokomo hauler on my RC page earlier today. Do you reckon there could be a nice Nemo racing hauler with the same spec and size? Possibly, but the Beta hauler is also awesome.
Yep.
Bigger than the Yokomo one, stores more in it, so perfect for 8 scale.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Peter Van Tonda is online. He said, "Hello, Peter." He said, "Good evening, gents. I think I should be given an honorary Nemo membership. Loving the new Bullet F225, by the way."
Awesome, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Peter, and I would agree with you. You've got, as you know, I think you've got the best name in KRC, so I think that deserves an honorary membership in its own.
Yeah, agreed. And I took him out, so I feel bad.
Okay.
he did out me on his Facebook though, so I'll let him off. Andy B has got a question for us, and while you try and answer that question, I need to find just a phone charger cable before I go flat. He says, "So 1 year, 3 months, and 12 days ago, Nemo Raceway posted its first Facebook picture and post. It's gone quick. But what, if anything, would you change knowing what you know now?
Blimey. It's been a really, really difficult year for me personally. I think most of that has not been to do with the fact that we chose to do a track. It's to do with the fact of the issues that we had with councils and residents and stuff like that. I can just see Mr. Rumble joining in the stream, so I'm just going to quickly throw him on as well. Good evening, Mr. Rumble. How are we?
Good evening. Marvelous.
Good. Don't move around too much. You've got to save that bandwidth. You've got to keep your head still. But I was just answering Andy B's question, which was a great one, actually. 1 year, 3 months, and 12 days has passed since Nemo raced its first picture, which is an interesting stat. What would you change, if anything, if you knew what you know now? Mr. Martin, welcome back.
Hello.
We have a Mr. Rumble here as well. What would I change? I don't know. It's definitely got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the track. I felt momentarily, I don't know what I felt earlier on, disappointed as I was sat on a bank hoovering up water for what feels like Groundhog Day, really. But we love it. We love doing the races and stuff. I wouldn't change too much, to be fair. I'm proud of what we've done in a short period of time. Really proud that we get the opportunity to have a national this weekend. I know, Andy, you've done lots of very good, successful ones, but a bit daunting for us. It's our first one. We have things that we need to work with on our site as well for this national. So I'm eager to get into it and look forward to having the support and compliance of the BRCA to work with our challenges or small challenges that we have with our site. Unbelievable that it's that period of time in some ways, and then in others it feels like it's aged me about 15 years. So I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what I'd change. I don't know. If I had a crystal ball, I'd probably go back and just put the money into Tesla shares and wait for 7,000% uprise or whatever. But we'd all be pretty. We'd all be doing all right if we could do that, wouldn't we? So.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
you'd probably put it in Southern Europe somewhere as well.
Many things. What a weird year, but we're super lucky and super proud to have what we've got. So I wouldn't change too much, to be fair. Just the local whingy bag mate we had. I'd have probably found a way to have buried her earlier on in the year, which would have made for a nicer overall experience. But I think we've got there now in recent times. So
just for legal purposes, we are not expecting to do that.
yes.
Yeah, when you say bury, we mean just bury her issues and her upsets and her troubles.
Well, could combine, kill two birds with one stone. I could get a holiday at Her Majesty's leisure and pleasure and expense, and we get rid of what has been a horribly thorny thorn in our side.
Yes, that is true.
I think that's a good shout.
Yes. We'll see. What's the next one? Leroy? Tell us what we've got.
So that was that. Marcus Butler is online. He says, "Good evening, guys. Just checking in late. So hey, buddy." Homeboy RC says he was rocking his e-buggy, but was out of his depth. A note to self: look who else is entered in the class first before booking in. It was fun though.
Exactly.
Was not last. Just
good. Exactly. And don't ever worry about who else is
Never.
In my opinion,
Exactly.
just go and enjoy it. We're all there, and we have to share the track at the same time. Just get on with it and enjoy it. Break some hearts.
Especially at something like a members GP. Just go and have fun.
Exactly. So, question.
So the meeting is there to give back to the members.
Question time. I've got quite a few questions here, so I'm gonna bowl into these, and we're gonna have to keep them concise because we're trying to keep the show to an hour or just over an hour period. So the first one: standard gearing in an A319E with a 1900 kilowatt motor. What is the best pinion for somewhere like Westmill and Nemo?
So
19.
mine might be a little higher than what you'd expect, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I would say a 20 or a 21.
Interesting. Okay.
I think there are, from what I've seen a lot with the electric stuff, is I think you can get away with running almost any pinion. It will be all right. You could put a 15 on it, it would be okay. You could put a 25 on it, it would also probably be okay. If they're overgeared, they pull it, and if they're undergeared, they have enough RPM anyway. But I'd say 19, 20, 21 would be fine. I would probably have an 18 if it was myself, but it's so dependent on your motor and your various things.
So what I personally found with 8-scale electric is the lower you gear them, the hotter they get, which is the opposite to 10 scale. So, like for example, I'll use this as a perfect example. Barkley, when he came over to our track, was struggling to do even 12 minutes with his setup that he had. I don't know what KV it was. I think it was a 1900. I'm pretty sure it was actually, and he was on like a 16 gearing. And I said, well, let's just gear it up, because that's what I found. And he geared it up, and he ran 15 minutes. So you can gear it up to make it smoother, and you can then take the top speed off using a speedo setting or an EPA setting, which will give you a much nicer feel, a cooler motor, and ideally more runtime. So that's just what I found. I mean, I run a 2100 with a 20 pinion. So
interesting. It's very good. It all makes sense when you lay it out.
And you always get good runtime.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
my good runtime, and you're not slow. So
yeah, the runtime for Kent, I was taking it a bit easy, but I think it could have done like 19 minutes in the end when we worked it out. So not bad.
Don't go all Kev on us. Don't say you're going to get 20.
Hey, I finished.
Good. Next question. Has anyone tested purple magmas yet? Oh, I don't even want to go with that question. Tick. Next one. Lee John Mark. If you could change anything about the UK BRCA 1/8 Nationals, what would it be and why?
Control tyre.
One thing.
I would like them.
Concise, Mr.
Okay, Lee's gone with control tyre, so I can't choose control tyre. Otherwise, I would. My second thing would be that, extenuating circumstances, we don't have 5 nationals in about what feels like 5 weeks. However, I understand the circumstances surrounding that. So next year it will naturally upgrade itself. But I wouldn't change anything otherwise. I think Kevin and Suzanne do a great job on their own time, and for the love. So it's really nice to see them still doing it and commanding well. So yeah.
So one thing apart from a controlled tyre, sorry to butt in, John, if that was taken,
right,
let's say by someone else, I would love to see like a last chance qualifier as well.
They're cool.
That would be cool. LCQ after the semis or something.
Yeah. Go on in, John.
I didn't know that we couldn't just all have the same one. I didn't know the rules of the game, because I would have gone control tyre as well. It's time to get that horse under control before it bolts and leaves us with not many people doing our hobby. However, past that, I would go with a format swap up, and I would do like the Nitro crosses, and I would have the 2-day rounds as 2 separate things, like we did on our belated Easter race, where it was over 3 days and we had 3 rounds. I would make the national 2 rounds over 2 days, where you have qualifying and finals on each day, so you get 2 goes at having a race. Because certainly that's the bit that I love. We spend such a long time in our current format. We spend a day and a half doing qualifying and then 1 final and go home. I would personally prefer to have 2 stabs at taking somebody ultimately. So that's what I would change.
Yeah. 2 bites at the cherry.
Yeah,
I like that cherry biter.
It's cool because if you break down on the Saturday and have something go wrong in your final, you can fix it overnight with a shandy and go and have another go on the Sunday. I like that. I think it's quite cool. Anyway, next question.
And also, just on that is that and from a race directing point of view, I actually can't understand the limitations of doing that. If you ran 14 or 15 car qualifiers and the same in the finals, and you could get through 120 people in like a 9 till 5 time period. So
yeah,
it would be good. It would be fun.
I think sometimes you look at these other series and they can really give you some good ideas. And the Nitro Cross, I think it works fantastic for them. And obviously it does then people the opportunity that can only commit to a Sunday or a Saturday of a race. As long as you make it that enough of the rounds don't count, they can still come and race in a national championship. Pretty cool. You can still travel 5 times, 10 races, which I think sounds like value for money. But there we go. Yeah. Next question. When developing new products, do you conduct open testing with competitors' products or just compare with your own existing ones? Good question.
It's a good question.
Yeah. If there's something so revolutionary and amazing, then obviously it would be foolish to not try that and see what it does or doesn't offer. I think it's important to reference these things yourself, because unsurprisingly everybody thinks their own thing is the best thing since sliced bread. It's only then when you have a try of it may or may not be the case. Interesting, trying other chassis, tires, etc. is an important and good quantitative testing, so you can actually verify that yourself and truly reference it, and be honest, because you know if something's good or not. So
yeah, the biggest one for me with that is tires. I think having the advent of Nemo Raceway has definitely allowed us to be more in tune to what is available across the market, because we can just get something in, very quickly verify what it's doing on our track against our own stuff. And I think that's been very interesting for us in many ways, actually. With the cars and stuff, slightly less so. I think, you have your own design philosophy and, you keep moving your product forward and, dipping in and out of somebody else's, like Mark said, unless it's something that's absolutely revolutionary or different. I think you just tie yourself in knots with it. There's lots of good products out there now. We definitely do far less of looking at that from a car perspective and more, tires. We definitely keep our eye on what's going on with everybody else with the tires, especially now because it's become, as we've seen this year, such a prevalent thing. It's been interesting. Next question, Leroy. Did you answer that one, Leroy? Did we throw it to your floor?
No, but pretty much sums it up. It's you should always try other people's dog food as long as dog food's better than your dog food, or at least people think it is.
Yes.
So if something's performing exceptionally well, you need to work out why and then make your stuff just as good. So it goes without saying, real cars, they don't just go out and try their own car. No. They'll find out what's good with others and make it work, and that's just life. That's how we progress.
Part of the game. Next question. This is slightly cheekily asked, I think, which is, what do you look for in a pitman? So, Mr. Jones, Senior, you asked this question. I'm looking exactly for you this weekend in a pitman. Leroy, what do you look for in a pitman? A bit of banter and a good steak cooker, or what?
Yeah, pretty much good at steak. Could do a wicked cheese sauce, Stilton preferably. I think it's just it's loyalty amongst most things. It's someone is going to be there for you when you need them to be, and give up their time basically to help you out, time and money to help you out. So plus it's someone to have fun with. You've got to have a good time with your mechanic or your pitman. You have to have a relationship and a bond. Otherwise, you just don't get on as well. So
yeah, definitely would completely agree with that. Mr. Rumble, anything to add to pitman selection?
No, I mean from an always pitman's point of view, what I find. Oh, Leroy might have gone.
Leroy
The thing I look at it is that just someone that's I would want to be someone that's quite reliable and consistent in every way, and just sort of someone that's quite nicely under control. Like we're ready the heat before. We've got everything we need. We've got the spare plugs, fuel bottles topped up, all of those things. I know they instill confidence in a driver that their mechanic knows what they're doing and can react to whatever may or may not happen. That's how I would try to operate.
You left us. You agreed, Mr. Rumble.
Leroy, you're back.
Yeah, it stayed in the Be Live app, but just kicked me out.
That's not very nice, is it?
And I was actually interested to hear your answer then, Rumble, like how it looked from your perspective.
Oh no!
You'll have to watch it back.
I'll watch it back. I'll watch it back.
It was just
push the red button.
Yeah. Good idea. Go record on a.
Okay.
And it was good. I mean, Mr. Rumble had some good points in there. To be fair,
good. I expected so. I was curious.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
All of those things.
Well, okay. Quick analysis was someone that's sort of just they've got their shit together. The fuel bottle's topped up. They're ready. They're reliable, consistent, and they've got a decent handle on what the expectations are. That gives confidence in the driver, I think.
Right. Oh, okay. I thought you were looking from a pitman's perspective. What do you look for in a driver?
No, that's it. That is.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, what do I look for in a driver? Well, I do like it. True. Well, that's a different question. Yeah. I do like I love it when my driver gets incredibly upset and they have a tantrum.
Yeah, I can imagine. Much experience or?
Mark likes
no, thankfully not. Otherwise,
Mark likes drivers that have a penchant for strip clubs. I think is actually really what's going on here.
I think that he may be on something there.
Indeed. So next question. So what is the best way to self-teach to actually become better at being good, and not just practice? Because I've picked the bones out of that a little bit. But yeah, what would you, other than practice, how do you become better at RC racing?
For me, it's understanding. You have to. So RC racing, we have a very small amount of physical touch to it. You know, you're just using your fingers or whatever. It's not like we massively have to be physically fit or whatever. So it's all in your brain. So it's understanding why someone's faster than you, what you're doing wrong, or what you can do better to be faster. Also understanding your own limitations until you get better at something is how you improve. And confidence will massively help in that too. So it's what I try and teach people on the training days and stuff. I haven't done one for a long time, but what I used to do. And it's just, you know, you might be doing the same thing week in, week out, and you think that's great, but actually it's not, and you're going to have to relearn something. So it's quite hard for people to realize that themselves, I think. But that's what you need to do. You need to go out and watch others and work out why are they going slow normally around the corner where you're going in flat out, but they're doing a faster lap than you. And yeah, there's a reason behind that. You just need to work out what it is.
I think, I agree with all of that. And I think you need to find a way to cut out the noise, because everybody has an opinion about something. And so I think you can very easily just keep leading yourself up a garden path of, I must do this because this is what Leroy does, or this is what Mark tells me to do, or whatever the circumstance may be. Having an inbuilt filter to take in the good bits, but know when to filter out the stuff that really doesn't matter is important. I also think it's important to sometimes you need to just drive the car as well. I think there's this illusion that there's this mythical setup that you put it on the car and that's going to fix your problems, and actually what happens is each time you change the car it's different, so it's different to drive, so you end up making errors because it's different. You don't make the errors because it's worse, it's just because it's acting in a different way now, and so sometimes you need to just give things a much longer process of trying it and consistency before flitting off and moving on to the next one. So for me, that would be my biggest thing, is just learn what you've got, and sometimes actually just stick with what you've got, and make small changes. You know, we've all been guilty of it. I'm sure, Leroy, you're the same. Sometimes you feel that you're so lost at a big race, you just go, well, we're going to roll the dice and we're going to change 100 things and see what happens. Sometimes you have to do that.
I do that every race.
Yeah, in general, don't do that. That's not a good thing. Little and slowly.
I think, John, that is also, in my opinion, is the most important. Is almost certainly one of the most important parts of it, is because Lee as a driver, and yourself as a driver with natural talent and natural abilities, is that you can make that change each run, be truly, you can evaluate that decision, react to it, respond to it, and be instantly in the groove with it, and know whether it was a good or a bad thing. As a lower level drivers, club level drivers, it's much less difficult, first of all, to just pick up on it, right, well, that's what it's doing, blah, 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 and just have that done and licked in one qualifier. It's not happening. So just put a setup on. Don't change that setup crazily from track to track. Make sure it's a baseline setup. The shocks aren't completely wrong or the diffs aren't crazy wrong, and stick with your own setup, because you're used to driving a car and you can do something with that. If you're suddenly then driving a different car because you put a brand new setup on it that's curated for Lee Martin's fingers or John Hazelwood's fingers, is definitely not the one. Obviously the starting setup sheets that we put out have always got differences from Lee's car or from John's car, because there are just some things that they won't be the one for 99% of drivers. Lee has got a lot of finesse with it. John is a much more aggressive driver, and John can drive anything. Lee, you can drive anything as well. But getting to grips with your own setup and going your own way with it is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so next question. What changes have you been working on for the National? In terms of the track, we've just refreshed it. We've amped it up a little bit. We've made the off-camber bits larger. We've made the jump higher and faster, and some of them actually lower and faster. And so, yeah, it's Nemo 2.0. It's just amped up a little bit. I think people are going to really enjoy driving it. I think that's what that question was for. Past that, it's the same layout, same shape that everybody knows from last year. Mr. Rumble, very quick question. Are you going to be wearing some new shoes that people that are partially sighted can read the braille on the front for the National? I can answer that for him. It's going to be easier. The answer is yes. He will be wearing his braille shoes, no doubt, for the National. Unless you got some new ones.
Ready to kick some butt.
Exactly. It's okay. So the next question: when going into a weekend racing, how long do you give yourself? This is one for Leroy, really. How long do you give yourself to prep for it, basically? I.e., diffs out, shocks out, all that sort of stuff. How long does that take you, and how do you know what to start with?
Well, this is good because I'm doing it right now.
Yes.
So yeah, getting ready for this weekend. I started tearing my car down this morning, and it will take me 2 full days to do everything, because especially when it's a national or something, I like to do a full tear down. I'll do everything. Take the drive shafts apart, every hinge pin out, every bearing shield off, clean them, oil them. I guess you could say it's a bit excessive. That's the only way, truly, that my OCD allows me to go into a race meeting knowing that I've done everything I can to make it good. So yeah, that's what I do. Some people won't do as much, and some people won't have time to do as much, which is fully expected. And for them, I would make sure your diffs are done. And when you do your diffs, don't get lazy and don't not remove the outdrives from the diff. Make sure you remove them, re-grease them, because I've had problems in the past where I didn't do that, and they start to rust together, and you don't get a good diff motion, which can change everything and make your weekend far less enjoyable. So definitely do diffs check all the drive lines good, redo the oil in your shocks, clutch or clutch bearings, and that's your bare minimum really for me.
Leroy is a dedicated man, and that is the right way to be. If you want to get the best results, it starts with having good prep. And I think all of these cars, it doesn't matter what car you've got, what brand you're loyal to, all the rest of it. If you don't maintain them and don't set them up right, they don't work. So it's pretty important to put that time and effort in. You will get the reward out of it. Almost always you'll get the reward out of it.
Yeah, 100% you will. And it's just like, even over the weekend, your own brain just being satisfied that nothing's going to fall to bits, or hopefully it's not going to fall to bits. And if it does, well, you've done everything you could, so it didn't. It's just fate.
Yeah. Sometimes it just goes wrong.
And this is how you become a professional in the hobby. It's that mentality and that position makes you a pro. That's the difference.
Yeah. You got to try what you can. If anyone ever sees me at a race meeting where I'm struggling, I'll be doing everything in my power to make everything work better. And sometimes, you go a bit too far. I spend 2 days and my hands are like red raw and black because I've taken everything apart and back together again. But if you don't do it and you have a sucky result, it really sucks. If you do everything you can, you still have a sucky result. Well, you did everything you could.
Yeah. Wise words.
Sometimes it's out of your control.
Yep.
That concludes my question. So we've only got what's on the side, Leroy. I don't know if there's been anything come in.
Yeah, there's not too much. Andy B says the only tip for hosting a national is to keep Mrs. Griffin happy. Well, she's going to be nicely housed and watered and fed, I'm sure.
Yep, well, we're going to have Mr. Rumble there helping to oil the cogs, so to speak. So, yeah, should be good.
Nice. Davey Rolls says, have they brought a rule in for national racing where everyone runs 16% fuel, or is it just mixed?
I've heard so many different things over the last period of time, and in fact, it's gone quiet for the last period of time. So we're ready with our mix, whatever that may be. We've tested them all extensively. We're ready to go with whatever may be the 2022 rules. Past that, I can't actually answer it anymore because I've not asked the question for, well, it feels like forever, but it's probably only 3 or 4 months. But we've done so many races in that period of time without it almost being forgotten.
Yeah. So
I think for me, as far as I can tell, it's such a non-issue because we've got all the blends ready.
It is a non-issue.
As far as we've gathered in our testing, it makes no odds anyway, and it'll be what it will be. We're quick to respond. We're incredibly lucky to have UK manufactured fuel, of which we are directly, we are direct in line for all of the developments with it. It'll be all right. I mean, I'm sure some of these other manufacturers may be in a slight pickle, but we're all right. So all of the Piranha runners, all the wise people out there are, safe for whatever transition may happen.
Exactly.
There you go. Harry Pearson says, lovely to see you guys again. Hopefully see you guys soon. So lovely to see you too, Harry.
Yeah, man. Great to see you at the
race
that we saw you
at. See you, Harry. Catch you soon.
Good to see you over, and obviously supporting Bradley. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, man. Peter Van Tonda says, I think you guys should do days where you hold classes like the Testmans do, 110% clinics. People should pay to get a full day of help and advice. And how to be better? Well, this has been happening for the past 6 years, but now we need to make it a Nemo thing, I think, and we'll do it very soon. The next one we need to do is our junior training and race. And then after that, we should definitely do clinic days. Maybe maybe when we do our race on a Saturday, if there's no races on the Sunday, we could do a clinic on the Sunday.
That's a good chat. Yeah, that's a good chat to do that. We're gonna announce our Saturday series. I think we said before that's what we're going to do for us as we come into the winter month. We're going to put our races on a Saturday so it doesn't clash with anybody else's. So we could easily make it a Sunday clinic on those days for people that want to stay over, and we'll gladly put some effort into everybody and try and help you progress your racing.
Yep, that sounds like a good idea for you. And then Eddie
good.
Paez says, are you putting a roof on the track? I heard somewhere about this. Thanks.
Yes, we are very much trying to do exactly that. We've hit stumbling blocks along the way in the last year that we didn't think were going to be there. I honestly thought if you'd have asked me that question 9 or 10 months ago that we'd already have it up and away, because we've done quite a lot of work in actually getting that exactly that. We've had some challenges to work through with local authorities and stuff, which we've been doing on other things. We should then hopefully move it on to be able to put a big tent over it at some point. Yeah, that is still exactly the aim.
There you go. Claire says, what flavour cakes do you want to see this weekend?
Anything with peanut in it for me.
Oh, like it.
Like peanut. Peanut's good.
Peanut.
Peanut.
Not if you've got a peanut allergy, but apart from that, it's very
Talbot, you're not doing very well, pal.
No, he's out of luck. Well, he's got an entry,
Unlucky.
so that's all.
So Andy B says, enjoy your first national of many to come. Look forward to seeing you all again. Thanks, guys, for everything you've done over the last 12 months on here. So thank you very much, Randy, for enlightening us with all your jokes.
And do you know what? I really appreciate that when you see stuff like that, because we're trying to do something a bit different. I'm sure people make a mockery of it as well that are not massively into us, and that's also cool because that's part of life. But yeah, to see that Andy doesn't run our stuff, he's not affiliated with Nemo in any way. He's just a thoroughly nice bloke, and so that's cool. So I really appreciate that, Andy.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Thanks, Andy boy. Claire says, what are our winners and losers for this weekend? I think as it's not our race, maybe we should just do a winners and losers after, like we normally do. Not a pre-winners and losers.
Yeah. I guess we always say this.
I would like to do just.
We should do a proper pre-race show. It's our track. We should do on Friday. Are you up on Friday, Leroy?
I will be at some point. Yes.
Yes, we should do a proper pre-race show on Friday from the Nemo National. Then we can look forward to our predicted winners and losers, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll try and pencil it in. We'll see how the Friday goes.
On the winners and losers, I'd just like to do a special shout out to Ben Kennett for his performance at South Coast. I fear he may be the loser from South Coast, not in the want of trying way, but we had a fairly excitable meeting with Mr. Kennett. I think we wore out a set of tools, wore out some engines, and then also had to wring out air filters, fuel everywhere. It was amazing, but I had good fun, and it was great to see you, Ben, and your missus too. So it was a good weekend, good fun. But on to the next one.
It's funny because he said to me, "I've spent all today was not as much fun as I hoped. I spent it all wrenching." And I asked him why, and he didn't respond. So
no, and just as a side note. Lock your misses up because Rumble's got another. I don't want to keep using the same word over and over again, but definitely got a thing about other people's misses. So lock your misses up. Ban them from being near Rumble.
Rumble.
Lock and key.
What have you been doing?
They're not married, so you know.
Is she Russian?
No, not that I know of.
So yeah, that brings us to the end, ladies and gents.
Yes, we've come to an end.
So if no one's got anything else to report, I'll do a sign out.
That's it. Let's do it, Leroy. Let's do a Leroy sign out.
We're doing a sign out. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please give us a thumbs up and go and share our page to all your friends. They might want to watch us too. You never know. So yeah. Join in for the pre-race show on Friday. Hopefully we'll get it done. And log in over the weekend to watch the live racing. We'll let you know where that's going live once we know a little bit more and once we can tell you a little bit more. So yeah, there you go.
It's all good. We're going to have Yeah, we're going to have a great
Yeah,
weekend.
so I think it should just on that note of live streaming. If I can facilitate it, I would like to try and do live stream the whole race on all of our social media platforms. It may not.
I already promised that earlier on in the show.
Yep. Late to the party.
It's
Great minds think alike.
Indeed.
It's done. We're ready. It's okay.
Cool. All right, chaps.
Ready to go.
Over and out.
Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it massively. We're going to see everybody on Friday because we're going to do a show of some sort. And yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll see you.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
Bye, guys.
See you later, everybody. Be good.